Today we are going to be using BMad and Claude Code CLI in order to brainstorm. So I know that you can go to Claude Code or ChatGPT in order to brainstorm your ideas, but there are now special tools that would streamline that process and make that process a little easier and higher quality. Now, BMad, what is BMad? BMad is this is a GitHub repository, Universal AI Agent Workflow, and they have a graph here where you have a project idea, really any idea, and they have an optional analyst research agent, and that's what we'll be using to brainstorm. So the analyst can brainstorm, do micro research, all that good stuff. So I'm here, it's a blank directory, Claude. All right. And then if you go BMAD, there are a bunch of agents that you can use. But for now, we are going to be using the analyst agent. So it's activating the business analyst persona. It's a blank directory. So let's see, we'll do brainstorm. I want to promote my personal brand using my personal brand. I have a YouTube channel called AI with Rex. Give me ideas on what I can do to gain more subscribers, increase the quality of my content while keeping efforts relatively low. The goal here is to build a community. All right. It's a bit vague. I think what it really helps if you have something that's more detailed. But the good thing about this is that it's going to ask you some questions. So let me understand the context better with a few questions. So this is very different from, let's say, using ChatGPT, where you ask it one question and it gives an answer. It doesn't try to gather requirements. So what are the brainstormings? What you tell me about getting subscribers? Okay, any constraints in the parameters, time availability. Okay, so these are things I need to think about. I have about 5 hours a week to work on this project. What else did they ask? Budget constraints. There is none. Current subscriber count. I have no subscribers. And my last video, my only one, currently have about 300 views. So I'm new. Let's see. Skills, technical skills. I am a software developer specializing in AI. I currently work in helping teams leverage AI to 10x their productivity. I love using new tech. All right. Any punch you're using the board? No topics you cover. I want relatively easy ways to create content That is also useful. All right, some random stuff. So it's gonna ask me, okay, excellent context. We'll explain, cast a wide net across content ideas. Okay, structure to. All right, so it's gonna go. Let's see. Broad exploration, cast a wide net across content ideas, promotion tactics, community building, platform. Focus at zero and specific high impact, like low effort content format that work, or community building tactics for new channels. I want, I think that's the most important thing. Let's focus on B because that's really what I want. Okay. I'm gonna put the monitor only here so we can get to see it. I'll show you a menu of brainstorming techniques like SCAMPER, mind mapping, etc. You pick one that sounds interesting. I recommend techniques based on your context. I'll suggest 2 to 3 techniques, technical techniques ideal for community building. Tailored to your situation, new channel, limited time, AI focus. Which approach would you like? Random technique. Let's go with 2. Let's see what they say. And at this point, I don't know where the LLM will take me. It's asking a bunch of good questions, and these are questions that I would not have thought of. So very good sounding board. Technique one, analogical thinking, 10 to 15 minutes. Look at how others successful form, not just YouTube. Draw parallels from AI communities. Okay, resource constraint. Role playing. Think of different perspective. Ready to start technique one, analogical thinking. Uh, so I can always go back and let me see. Let's go back. Let's go back. Um, give me ideas of the type of content I can create in a YouTube channel which specializes in AI. I'm looking for concrete, I don't know, projects to work on. Small projects are ideal, but large projects broken down into multiple sessions are fine. See what it says. Okay. Okay. Brainstorm to community building tactics to concrete. That's probably where it got derailed. I put community building in it, and I want a list of videos to create. Your context, new focus questions, small projects, content preference, tutorial. And so, yeah, tutorial, live coding, problem solving. This is what I do now. Tools, review, comparison, case studies. So this is good, right? Because I can do tutorials on even just to use. This is a tutorial now, even though it's also live coding. I'm not solving any problems. Tools review. This is sort of a tools review of BMad. It's great for brainstorming. I know that I will be brainstorming with this more often. Audience target. My target audience would be all of the above, really. Let's see. I prefer live coding. just because it's just easy. I record myself doing what I do anyway, which is coding. I know some people are nervous about live coding, but you can always delete things. I prefer live coding just because it's easier for me. Um, I do want to create tutorials, but that needs more preparation. And it does. You need to prepare. Tools review, a mix of all. Okay, let's see what it says. So far what I'm getting is I just need to produce things that I'm doing now. Live coding, solving problems. Maybe I can have a list of problems that I can solve online, maybe open source projects and stuff. Let me see. Technical one, scamper method. What is the scamper method? Systematically explore. See, this is good. I know that a lot of people may know the scamper method, but I don't know what it is. What is the scamper method? All right, it says it here, but what does it mean? Substitute, combine, adapt, modify. Yeah, it's right here, but I don't know how that works. Substitute. What if I substitute traditional coding tutorials with live debugging sessions? Got it. So, got it. A debugging session would be pretty interesting, especially with open source projects. So that's another idea. What can you merge to blend together? What if I combine AI tutorials with productivity hacks? And that's a great idea because that's what I do for work, which is increasing a team's productivity using AI, leveraging AI. How can I adapt cooking show formats to AI coding? That's interesting. Cooking show formats, meaning like having recipes. I mean, we do have coding recipes. Elaborate on how this would work. Now, this is pretty interesting. Cooking show adapted to AI coding. So maybe the goal obviously with cooking is you want to cook something. There's the recipe, and then there's the process of actually cooking it. There's measurements. There's timing. Oh, 30-minute AI meal. That's great. Start with finished project demo, like showing the demo. Right. So if you have some baked salmon, this is how you do it. Gather ingredients, API tools. That's amazing. Okay, this is a great idea. Chop challenge, random AI tool API, random use case. Good. Because software engineers try different tools all the time. Why not document all that stuff? Chef's table, behind the scenes. So I think I have a lot to go on with this now. So what I like to do is after I have a conversation like this and some brainstorming, I like to export this conversation, save to file. And then I have that here. And I go to my editor. And I have all the conversations that I just had. So what I like to do afterwards is take this and start modifying it. I would say I would duplicate that, and then okay, I would do that and start removing all this. Let's see here. I really like these ideas. Why this works, familiar format, people like, yeah, I mean, if it's a familiar format, they just come together. There could be like even AI shorts and stuff. All right. All right, so there it is. Being able to brainstorm ideas and being able to capture those ideas in just a text file, they can go over it. What I like to do afterwards is I like to sort of create a summary of these things, um, modify the file, this file right here, modify this file, and then add it to my technical journal so I can go back to it and see what I can do with it.